KUGAN, CASSIUS, IFL TV, MTK Global, joined by the Governor himself, Barry Hearn. How are you, mate?
Always nice to be here, Cougs, thank you.
Absolutely. Eddie does let you out every now and again.
Every now and again he gets me a decent ticket, and it would be rude to say no.
Does he give you a discount on them tickets?
Yeah, it's getting that stage, Cougs. It's really getting hard, you know. I let him in the darts, I don't understand it.
Yeah, just a couple of things. I'll say briefly because I know we've got a show going on here, but Dylan Whyte, what is kind of the situation at the moment? I did 20 minutes with him there. He didn't really tell us a lot about what's happening with the WBC.
I mean, look, the world's gone crazy with heavyweight boxing. The money's gone crazy, and good luck to the fighters. I especially, generally like Dylan Whyte. I think he's a right good bloke, to be honest with you. And I'd love him to stay with us, but I'm not going to hold him back. If this crazy world, if someone wants to pay stupid money, my advice to fighters is go and get it. You know, it's a short life. But I think Dylan wants to stay with us, and we'd love to stay with him. But who knows what's going to happen, Cougs? Because it's madness. It's madness at the moment. You know, you've got ESPN, you've got Al Heyman, and you've got Dazn. And the three of them are creating a market that's totally artificial. People are getting so much money. It's not about what profit does the show make, which is where we came from years ago. And so fighters have got to look after themselves, and they know that we're here forever and that we're honest people. If they want to stay with us, then fine, and if not, I wouldn't hold anything against them for leaving.
He does say, though, he's focused on July 13th. I mean, he's said that all the way through today.
Great.
As far as you know, that he will fight on that day at the O2?
I hope so, and I'd love to see. You see, I think there's 4 heavyweights in the world of note, about to be 5 with Usyk. But you take those 5 out of the mix, and who else are you looking at? You know, with all respect, the others have got some way to go yet. I mean, they're not to say they won't get there.
Well, you've got some headlining a show at the O2 next month.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't think either of them are in that mix at the very elite end of heavyweight boxing. And those fighters all need people to fight. The danger is, because of this silly amount of money that's around, is that the fight fans are seeing poor fights, because the fighters have got the opportunity to say, well, I'll sign with you, but I've got to have a few easy ones. And that's what's happening. And that's not in the interest of boxing, but it's very much, if I was a fighter, I'd say the same thing. You know, if I was Tyson Fury, I'd say, give me this German kid, who's not very good, and pay me a load of money. And I can't fault that. But don't tell me in the second breath that you're a fighting man and you want to fight the creme de la creme, because it don't ring true. But I think bullshit is something that used to be just promoters, and sometimes it extends to fighters.
What are your thoughts on Wilder turning down, and I'll say reported, because we haven't been the 100 million from Dazn?
It was there. I mean, it was there, but why did he turn it down? It's easy, because he made a business decision. Do you want to get beat by Fury? I mean, I think, look, take an old man's view. Fury and Wilder both know they don't fancy AJ at all, and I don't blame them, because they know boxing. They know they're going to both get sparked, and if someone comes to you and says, tell you what, you haven't got to go down that route, here's a load of money for another route, sometimes that's more attractive. You know, if you're going to get offered 30, 40, 50 million for a fight, or the alternative is 15 or 20 million for an easy fight, and build your brand for subsequent fights, what are you going to do? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do what Deontay Wilder does. I'm going to do what Tyson does.
So you're not surprised he turned that offer down?
No, because the offer meant putting it on the line. And
Brazil and then twice with Joshua.
Yeah,
so
I mean, there's certain times when you say, do you fancy it? But the alternative is, no, in this competitive world in America, which is obviously causing problems everywhere because the money is crazy, in that competitive world, I don't blame them for taking an easy fight. I mean, eventually it'll come round, but I don't know when.
But he was always going to fight Brazil anyway, wasn't he? Regardless of what network he was on, that's his mandatory. So he was always going to do that first. But then after that,
I think that Brazil's a decent fight.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Brazil's improved since Joshua demolished him. I think he's a better fighter now, and I think he could possibly give Deontay some problems. I mean, my personal opinion is Deontay's not very good, but he can punch. So we'll wait and see. But I'd certainly rather take If you gave me the choice to say, do you want 15, 20 million, whatever, to fight Brazil, or do you want 40 or 50 million to fight AJ? I'd take Brazil every day of the week, wouldn't you?
Well,
don't tell me about legacy and all this nonsense, because when it really gets to it, we're in a money business and the fans don't understand. It's not about the best fight and the best as far as boxing is concerned. It's the best deal for the fighter. And I can't fault that, because I think we're all selfish, and I think fighters are exactly the same as normal human beings.
A little bit tongue-in-cheek here with some of these comments, Barry, or not really?
No.
You mean it?
I'm becoming cynical as I get older. You know, I've listened to it, we've all gone, you know, in the old days, everyone used to talk about, oh, do you remember when there was one fight, one champion at every weight? Yeah, that was the old days. It don't exist today. Today, it's not in the interest of TV companies to have one division, because they all want a share of it. And it's Eddie's fault. No, it's not anyone else's fault. It's purely Eddie's fault. He's made fight.
Yeah, let's blame Eddie, Barry.
He's made boxing too sexy, and everyone's jumped on the wagon and gone, God, boxing is real, you know. And if they believe in it, of course. But if they believe it, they'll come up with the money, and they are coming up with the money, and it's causing complications, and it will end in tears one day. And I don't know when that day is.
But obviously, from what you're talking about, Dazn are playing a huge part in that.
Yeah, of course. I think they're as guilty as everybody else.
Yeah.
And we're guilty because we're on the peripherals of just doing shows. We work for people. We don't... Cougs, I don't take financial risks. Don't be silly. I'm a service provider. And the best in the world, by the way, in case you're worried about it.
Barry, one second, mate. Barry, thank you very much for talking to Rifle TV. A little short and sharp one today, but we'll catch up with you soon.
A pleasure.
Top man.